Okay, so watch this here. This isn't anything new. This is like a month ago, maybe 2 months. I just saw it.
Okay.
So you know the whole argument about what's wrong with working from home? What's wrong with working from home? What's wrong with working from home? I gave a similar message to this in Dallas 5 days ago, about some of the guys that are now making a lot of money, and they're no longer wanting to do the work that maybe others are doing. If you're like, well, I'm entitled to this money that I'm making without wanting to earn it again. Look at the way Elon breaks down working from home. Go ahead, Rob. Watch this clip.
That people are more productive when they're in person. Look, there are some exceptions, but I kind of think that the whole notion of work from home is a bit like the fake Marie Antoinette quote, "Let them eat cake." Mm-hmm. It's like really, you're going to work from home and you're going to make everyone else who made your car come work in the factory. You're going to make the people who make your food that gets delivered that they can't work from home. The people that come fix your house, they can't work from home, but you can? Does that seem morally right? That's messed up.
You see it as a moral issue?
Yes.
I mean, I see it more as just
it's a productivity issue, but it's also a moral issue. People should get off the goddamn moral high horse with the work from home bullshit. Because they're asking everyone else to not work from home while they do. The laptop class is living in La La Land. I'm a big believer.
You have no idea how much I love this argument. This guy's not even going out there saying, I can get as much productivity, I can be more productive at home as I can as at the office. This guy's saying, you want to work from home while all these other things and products that are being built for you, you're doing what you're doing? No, we're not going to be doing that. This is the kind of guy that people say, I'd love to work for Elon until you work for him. And then you realize, do you really have what it takes to work for a guy like this or not? Tom, what's your take when you see this here about working from home?
I love what he said. There were two words that just jumped out at this. I've watched this a couple times. The laptop class. There are a set of people that believe, well, I'm a knowledge worker. I have my laptop. I can really work from anywhere. Well, okay, technically you can. Maybe you can. But can you build relationships with your team from anywhere, really build the relationships? Can you walk across the floor and give a high five because you hear a sales guy, some people cheering because they just closed the deal? Can you walk across the floor there over the sales department and give them a high five? No, you can't. I believe that what Elon Musk is saying about being morally wrong, I am completely on that page. And when he calls it the laptop class, I believe it's an entitled laptop class. How are you going to build relationships and bonds with people you work with? I think it's more than moral. It's building relationships, having opportunity to have really experienced teams.
Adam, what do you think?
Look, as you know, I'm a pretty moderate person. So I don't think you can villainize somebody who has the opportunity to work from home. But I will also say that it is definitely more productive to come to the office. We all know that I work hybrid, whether that's with Valuetainment or with my other firm that I run in the finance space. But it all depends on what your role is in the company. So for instance, I do sales or business development. I eat what I kill, meaning if I don't work, I make no money. So I've seen my numbers go up when I don't have to commute and drive and spend an hour in traffic back and forth. And it's worked for me. So villainizing people that are able to work from home or work from anywhere, I think is wrong. But at the same time, not coming into the office ever, I think is bad for culture. And I think there is some moral
I want to show you guys
inclusiveness that needs to be dealt with. Go ahead.
And I'm so glad you're saying this, Adam, because there's a point, right? You're like a wholesaler is what you do. In insurance, there's guys that are wholesalers. There's a wholesaler I worked with many years ago. I won't say his name because, I could never get a hold of this guy, okay? And when they hired him, AIG hired this guy back in the days. The person that hired him, this guy would send me Clippers tickets all the time. Hey, Pat, I got you another Clippers ticket courtside. Hey, Pat, I got another Clippers ticket. I'm like, listen, first of all, I can't stand the Clippers.
Yeah, I'm a Lakers fan. What's going on here, buddy?
I don't have time to go to a game. Number three, why is it that all of my guys are telling me they can never get a hold of you? Explain that to me. And then I gave him a case study. I said, just so you know, it's been a year and a half. You're the worst wholesaler we've ever had. And he worked from home in Orange County, whatever it was. I go to the guy that hired him, and we had a meeting. A guy named John Town. You remember this guy, John. He and I started off wanting to, our relation was going to be bad. We ended up becoming very good friends. To the point where that I spoke at his retirement ceremony on the yacht, and he was going to drop our contract. Love this guy. And I said, listen, you can't have a wholesaler like this that sends me Clipper tickets, but none of my guys can ever get a hold of them. This whole work from home concept, wholesaler concept, gets So many people take advantage of it. For every one that uses it properly, there is 10 of them that abuse it. And they have to go on Salesforce. Here's how many calls I made. There's so many ways they can fabricate and bullshit and still hit your numbers. The part that I think what Elon is talking about is this part here. In the book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely, I talk about this concept of selfless versus selfish. Rob, can you zoom in a little bit? And the breakdown of this is, go a little bit to the top if you can to break. Okay, so net positive index. The NPI chart, okay? To the left is what would happen if somebody was 100% selfish, 0% selfless. Well, you got a criminal, psychopath, danger to society, right? If you have somebody that's 90% selfish, 10% selfless. Narcissist, world revolves around them. 80% selfish. This is a solopreneur, they're the laptop entrepreneur, an example of success, but bad at duplicating. So 80%, it's all about them. 20%, it's about being for others. Then you got the kingmaker and driver. This is an Elon Musk. He's at the 70-30 category. 70% selfish, 30% selfless. If Elon didn't pursue a selfish interest of trying to protect humanity, like he talks about, I'm a humanist, or civilization or freedom of speech, those selfish drivers wouldn't get him going, but he's also doing it for others because he's worth a couple $100 billion. Good-looking guy, can get with pretty much most girls in Hollywood, all the beautiful girls that love this guy, but he's got a selfless side to him. You go 60-40, you're a great teammate, you're a synergist. Thinker, advisor, 50-50. This is somebody that makes a very good board member. They don't have a lot of motives of trying to manipulate, but they give great advice. 40-60, great supporting cast, very important people. 30-70, passive, meek, submissive, tame. This is when you start hurting society. 20-80, you're indecisive. You don't make decisions. You're trying to please everybody, and you're annoying because you don't stand for anything. Then the 10-90, the weak-willed, cowardly. Then you have the last one, which is non-existent, that all you are selfless. Even Mother Teresa was a 70-30 because she wanted to go out there and fight for certain people. That's a drive. I think the concept that Elon was breaking down, there's so much depth to it that I hope it gets more attention because we need more people to realize 70-30 is a good place. We still need to find a way to be selfless to support other people as well, like Elon is talking about. Go to his other clip. I want to play the 2 clips with Elon, and then we'll get into the next topics. Tom, I want to get your feedback on this one as well. This is him talking about regulation. You know how sometimes we keep hearing about deregulation, regulation, and then people are like, what's the big deal about regulation? Who cares about regulation? Watch how he breaks down regulation in the state of California. Go for it.
There are more laws and regulations passed and more regulatory bodies created. Eventually, everything will be illegal. And that's why you see the California high-speed rail has made a tiny section that doesn't even have rail on it, for, I don't know, several $1 billion. Because everything's, at this point, California has made almost everything illegal. So you
Bingo.
can't make progress. Most poignant example that I can think of that happened this week was the sad picture of the California high-speed rail, which is, it's just billions of dollars spent for practically nothing. But it'll only get worse year after year. So we must have a regulatory sort of clearinghouse, garbage collection process. This is essential, or civilization comes grinding to a halt. If year after year,
Tom, thoughts on this? Do you see how this works out? The way he's breaking it up.
He's 100% correct, and this is why the two recent pieces of legislation in the federal government I was so concerned about. Like it was good to have. Is it good to have a Jewish anti-defamation, anti-hate speech? Well, yeah, it is. But if you start making this word wrong, that word wrong, that word wrong, you just keep adding words to it until you can't even speak. So there's a perfect example of regulation. And we've seen it in California. You keep regulating businesses. So this pollutes, that pollutes, this pollutes, that pollutes. Look, if they're dropping poison into a lake, you can't have that. You got to stop, a bad actor from doing that. But to his point, when you start, over-regulating and trying to control the inputs and the capitalist energy of businesses, all of a sudden you stop everything. Everything stops. He's right.
And by the way, check this out. So again, I saw this on Dave Rubin, who had it on, and he's breaking this down. Check this out. So this is Newsom being asked about how did California go from $100 billion surplus to now you're negative. His answer is as gaslighting of an answer as anybody could give. Go ahead and play this clip.
Can we explain to Californians how we moved from a $100 billion surplus to such a significant deficit in just a matter of a few years?
Well, it's, we can explain it. $349 billion of unprecedented capital gains, 11.6%, when traditional capital gains is around 5.18%
Gaslighting.
on average.
What are you saying?
It's almost double. So you have
hell does that
massive
mean?
volatility.
Exactly.
You have requirements under Prop 2, the GAN. You have requirements under Prop 98, which require that set aside. We use 93% of our surplus, which is
Even the
be
sign
careful.
language girl is like, you're full of shit.
either on the higher end or without precedent
But watch what he says
for
here.
one-time purposes.
He talks about
So
raindrops,
we
rain
anticipated, because we didn't want that surplus to go to ongoing commitments, we anticipated that shortfall. What we didn't anticipate is these rain bombs in December, January, February, and March.
Rain
These
bombs.
atmospheric rivers that led to
You got to give
federal
the guy. You can pause it,
Yeah,
right? You got to give the guy credit that he can sit there, stand there, give an answer, sound like a professor, and says nothing for 2 minutes. But people are going to be like, oh,
bombs?
okay, so that's
They
why
vote
we
for
went from 100 billion.
100%.
Bombs are bad. So
Yeah,
if it's a rain bomb, it's bad. The subliminal gaslighting that goes in this as well, I found to be impressive, but shocking and infuriating.
It doesn't get more snake in the grass politician. I mean, look, like, he plays the part to a T. Complete
This is a
BS.
future president you're looking at.
I'm telling you right now,
Potential
that
president,
1,000% just complete bullshitting. And by the way, the guy that asked the question, just letting him ramble on. Even the sign language girl's like, did you see her face? The girl that's doing the sign language.
But you
like,
want that. You know why you want that? The more rambling on he goes, you don't want him to give a 15-second answer. You want him to do exactly what he's doing.
Just keep BS.
Yeah, no, because the more he rambles, the more the market can decipher through the BS and say, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. What are you talking about? This is like me telling your kid, your family, we have a father who's a billionaire.
Yeah.
Okay? He's no longer with us. He dies. You get $500 million. I get $500 million. Tom gets $500 million. Adam gets $500 million. We're 4 states. Your name is California, your name is Texas, my name is Florida, and his name is Illinois, let's just say, right? 2 years later, my $500 million is still $500 million. Tom's $500 million is $1 billion. Adam's $500 million is $700 million. Your $500 million is now coming to me, Tom, and Adam saying, guys, I need $60 million.
Sure.
That's what he just did. What do you mean you're the guy that was running this? Now you don't have that money? Now you kind of blame somebody else? No, you're the guy that was doing this. But again, somehow, some way, because he's marketable, they're going to have to protect him closely because this guy could be a future presidential candidate. If not, if June 27 goes pretty bad for this guy named JB, Joseph Biden, if it goes bad, he may be somebody coming in very quickly to be like, listen, man, let's make a quick sub here.
Oh, yeah, because of the numbers are getting worse.
What numbers are getting worse?
I mean, Joe Biden's
In
it's
swing
slowly
states,
starting to go down.
Swing states, which are more important, they are not looking good. But in the general election, it is neck and neck and is into the margin of error. But we're a little too early to call on that. But you're absolutely right on Gavin Newsom. We talk about this all the time, policy versus personality. The debate that he did with DeSantis, it was such an unfair, one-sided match. DeSantis cleaned his clock. But if you ask the average citizen who doesn't follow politics and can't keep up with policy and isn't tracking the capital gains rate and the tax rate and understand the overregulation, what's going on there, they're like, yeah, I think that Gavin Newsom guy did a pretty good job. I think he won the debate. It's like, what? They're showing poop maps talking about what's going on.
You know
there.
who this guy just reminded me of? You know who he just reminded me of? Rob, I almost don't want to show it to you guys. I want you to see his, and then you'll see who I'm talking about. Immediately, you're going to be like, that's exactly.
Is it from a movie?
It's from a movie. Hang on one second. You can think about the movie, but I'm going to, think about the movie who this guy reminds you of.
Of who? Newsom or?
Who Newsom reminds you
Oh, I already know who it is.
Who?
You know?
Christian Bale in American Psycho.
Well, that's one, but the scene.
Not even close.
But the scene I'm talking
Collins.
about is a different scene. You know what the scene is? You know the movie with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon?
Good Will Hunting?
Yeah.
Where it says, how about them apples?
Oh, yeah.
You know the guy that says, well, according to the theory of relativity, and so on, what happened?
Oh, you're going to quote
you're
him now?
citing from that now?
Yeah.
And how about this now? And how about that now? You think you're going to go around and tell, That's who he is.
Wow.
Can you go to the Goodwill Hunting?
He's a ponytail.
Just go to Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah.
I'll tell you exactly.
It's the bar
who this
scene.
guy is. The
Yeah.
bar
Bar
scene.
scene.
Type in bar scene, Rob.
Well, I got a number. How about that, man?
Yeah, that's after
Go
the bar.
to bar scene and go to images. That's all you need
That's
to
it,
do.
right? Yeah, right
Okay. He
That's
is.
him. The top left, third,
Just
third
go
to
in the
left.
middle. Right in the middle
Right
with
there.
like he's an angel. Right
That's
there.
him. Left, right there.
Click on that.
That's
Zoom
him.
in. That's Newsom to the
Ponytail.
left.
Yeah.
Look at that hair.
That's Newsom. Gavin Newsom is that guy right there who
You're
went
right.
to school and read the books and would cite and act like he can. And then people are like, wow.
Right.
Good.
The level of intelligence.
Oh, you're just going to be out here regurgitating Gordon Wood?
Yeah.
I know about you.
Yeah.
I got a number. How about them apples?
See, guys, what's going on with Minnect? For those of you guys that are competing to be at the dinner with us at Casa D'Angelo, which I was the other night, and then have cigars with us afterwards, conversation, having all the Minnectors come together, here's what the race is looking like. Rob, could you do me, can you zoom in a little bit for the lightweight? Really, Davis took over the lead, 198. These are people that at the beginning of the contest that started April 16th had never been on the app. They just downloaded it. They just started getting Minnect.
Wow.
Of them answering questions. These are 198 completed answers to questions. Davis is number one. Then it's Santino. Then it's Puva. But by the way, we're going to go to the website because there's a lot of competition behind him. Middleweight, Fernando's got the lead with 105. Then it's Michael, then Parsa. And then heavyweight, not even close. Dustin is ahead, 286. Calvin Doctor, 156. Comotor plays 120. Look at home team and just dominating.
Vinny,
Vincent
what are you
Oshana,
doing out there?
I love you.
732.
Crushing.
502,
I
then
love you.
Tom, then Adam. And then new users asking questions. Tyler Huff, good for you for asking 185 questions. Goran Surbeski, 123. Eddie, 121. Dustin, existing. Holy moly, look at that, 895.
Here's my guy,
Sir John, ICU, 771. Ozzy Gomez, 276. Here's what you have to realize. These are all the QR codes for us. However, this is the most important data I'll tell you. My entire life story was from being one contact away from my life changing. I'm one contact away from life changing, whether it's business, health, marriage, relationship, finance, it doesn't matter. On email, if you send a cold email to somebody, the response rate is less than 1%. Instagram DM, it's less than 3%. Twitter is 5%. LinkedIn is 8 to 12%. I got the report yesterday. Tom, did you see the report on what percentage of people on Minnect respond? Do you know what percentage of experts answer questions on Minnect?
Can I guess?
Write it down on a piece of paper, and then, Tom, tell us what it is.
Okay, I can't enter a contest to guess because I know what the number is.
But just say it. What's the number?
94%.
I put 94.
94% of people answer
That's
Minnect
correct.
questions. So, and a lot of people answer within
Sick.
24 hours. I answer within 24 hours, and mine are audio, so are Vinny, so are Tom. Adam, we'll get back to you, but it's.
I will.
But he's on a boat. He's
Yeah.
in Miami.
But here's the
Guys, you
point.
got to give him some credit.
Guy wants to talk about politics. You don't like what Cuomo said? Minnect him. You want to talk to Candace? Minnect her.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.